Bonjour, welcome. It is the Daily Bake. Welcome to Monday, the 8th of February. I am joined, as every Monday, by the esteemed John Fuggles. John, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much.
That's amazing. Hopefully everything looks a bit clearer today because I got myself a new light. I've got myself a new microphone. Look at that. Hello, talk to me. 1, 2.
I hope you ordered that all online and didn't go out shopping because it's not vital and necessary and all that.
I did not go out shopping. In fact, I use Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace. In fact, I banned myself from eBay a little bit of a time ago because I'm a little bit uncontrollable on it. And then now I found Facebook Marketplace, which I can't get away from. But 20 quid for that, mate. Amazing. So hopefully I'm coming through loud and clear. It is Monday the 8th. Anthony and John here with the Daily Bake. It is it's an amazing morning for a lot of people. Not quite so much for me because I don't know if you can tell. No, can't tell. My wife got tested positive for COVID yesterday, and I feel like, well, something that's not very nice because there are children watching this. So I feel very bad. I feel probably if I'm potentially throw up, I do apologise. I've got a bin next to me, but don't feel great this morning.
We'll carry on regardless. So your good lady is clearly, she's a positive woman anyway. She has to be fed up with you. Let's be clear. Are you all getting tested today? Are you?
We are. We called 119 because that's the right thing to do, and it's what everyone should do. We have notified the people that potentially we could have contact with, and this morning we're off to Brighton to get properly tested, and then go from there. And then we shall be spending the next 10 days isolated. Not that we can go anywhere anyway. I mean, yesterday we had about 0.5 centimetre of snow, so we're pretty much trapped anyway. So it is the way that it goes. But let's look at it positively. Let's not look at it miserable. We're still kicking and screaming. So what happened yesterday? Well, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, not necessarily my team. I am a Cowboys fan. Clearly the best cheerleaders, and Tom Brady took them to an astounding win. I feel like
it's something to do with football that they don't kick, right? So it's not
proper football. Yeah, man's football. None of this like
the guys who wrap themselves in bubble wrap so they don't get hurt. That one.
Yeah, because they'd die if they got hit with each other. Yeah. So just on that note, do you know that Gronkowski, who scored, I think, 2 or 3 super. I haven't watched it yet because I'm just looking at notes from. I've got it recorded. But Gronkowski, 6'6" and weighs 120 kilos. Yeah.
What's that in proper money?
Well, 120. I don't know. It's 120 kilos is almost 20 stone.
Okay. That's
so
right.
He's 6'6". He runs the 40 meters almost as quick as the guys that are running Olympic 100 meters, as fast for the first 40 meters. Can you imagine him running into you at, I don't know, wherever fast they bloody go?
No, thanks.
No, I mean, so put on something that keeps you a little bit protected. But
have you seen that?
I think he's.
Have you seen that film about head trauma in American football? It's quite interesting, especially what's happening with rugby at the moment, and there's a lot of that kind of stuff going on. It is. It's quite interesting, the passion people have for sport and the damage it ultimately does to you. Runners and all that. Yeah. I mean, you're a retired athlete.
Yeah, exactly.
It does.
I still call myself an athlete, John. People say to me all the time, I say, yeah, well, I'm a professional athlete. And you can see him looking at me going, what does he do? Sumo? Shot put? Yeah. It's funny actually yesterday because I put a post on LinkedIn regarding a little bit about my past and some of those pictures and stuff like that. And I think there's like 5,000 views or something already and lots of positive feedback. And I think the funny thing about LinkedIn is you get so trapped in talking about what you can do, what you can offer, and what you're doing right now that a lot of people forget to talk about what they've done in the past.
No, and people work with people. I mean, I can think of some great people I've worked with, some great bosses, and the ones that stand out are the people that I've got on the best with. There's some phenomenal people I've worked with. When you're in a work environment, it's good to have something of depth to the people you work with, and you're right. LinkedIn, we're kind of too focused on the job, not the people, the people, which is, it's good. I saw the pictures. Very cool. There's one of them. 2 of them actually in particular. I was seriously pictures. But no, you're right. I mean, maybe we should do more of that. But let's not go down the Facebook route of far too much personal stuff. But I think it's a point that maybe LinkedIn does miss. We are all people, so tell us about each other.
Exactly. So, well, let's look at that. Moving on for the daily bait. What have we got for you? Well, this is recruit. On the recruit side, we have lots of exciting things that are happening now. The US role that we've closed that off, the senior compliance officer or chief compliance officer in the US. That was a wonderful role. We found some amazing people for that. We do quite a bit in New York now, and we're very much a UK and New York business. So, if you've got anything in the US that you'd like, please contact us on that. What we've got in the UK, which I'm working on today, which is live, is in Leicester. I've got a QA role in Leicester. This is an in-office role. So you will be expected to go to the facility or to the bank every day to conduct your pieces of work. This is a QA on retail and commercial cases. Please contact me. If you know anybody that's interested in that role, I will put the details out a little bit later on. We have got, I'm still screening in the UK for a London-based bank. We are looking for senior onboarding specialists. So if you're an onboarding person and you have worked in this space, I'm looking at director level guys. So at least head of department in an investment bank. So if you've worked for a digital bank and you're like at the bottom of the tree, this is definitely not the role for you. So we're looking for somebody that comes with investment banking, senior onboarding experience, please. So also, as we go through our screening process, as we get more and more jobs coming in, more and more roles coming in, please use my Calendly,
that one.
Yeah, that one, can't say it. Log in so you can get a 15-minute call with me. The way that I screen my candidates is really simple. I do a 15-minute call with everybody. So jump onto the 15-minute call. I then go through your CV and see if there's anything that I can help you with. I'm really honest and upfront. If I can, I will tell you. If I can't, I will tell you. And then after that, we follow that with a 45-minute call, usually 4 or 5 days later, which is a bit more of an in-depth call. Those are the first two screening points of you, whether you're ever going to get a chance of me helping you out working. That is the best way that I've found to screen the people that I can help. Also, it gives me an opportunity to not get myself in trouble with everybody that thinks they can get help from me. And gives you a bit of an insight into their personality, of course. It does, and you can't do that straight away. It takes longer than 15 minutes to figure out whether someone's actually, I hate to say this, but whether what they've written on their CV is the truth, whether they can do what they say they can do. There's a massive, the disparity between whether someone can or someone can't is huge. And that is exactly what we do. We investigate what they've got written on it. I mean, we had, what was interesting, John, my US candidate for US role that I had, his CV didn't marry up to his LinkedIn, and the client wanted to know why.
No, I was just going to pick up on that point. First of all, there's a article on the Mission 23 website called CVs are not worth the paper they're written on, which is, if anyone wants to read that. But you're absolutely right. It does take a bit of time to get your CV up to date and accurate. And yes, you are trying to put yourself in the best light, and nobody's going to criticize you for that. But for crying out loud, make sure it at least matches with your other social media platforms, most in particular LinkedIn, right? And people don't, which is, I've never understood that.
Yeah, and the screening process, I mean, we improved the Lysis Recruit. I have learned so much for these guys at Lysis, because when I came here, I was just a recruiter, and I was just like, we didn't have to worry about screening, because all we were looking at is whether people were going to get the job, and we were just looking at money. Well, I come to this, company where we offer regulatory advice, and it's important for us to make sure that we KYC the people, because we are a regulatory KYC specialist. Yep. So if we're not doing that with our candidates, and we're providing those candidates to our clients, then we are causing them it's an injustice, basically. So I think that the way that we have a 22-touch screening process here, and it seems like a lot, but that screening process is things like time management. What does the person look like we're on the call? Are they asking you the questions? Are they clear and concise? Are they going to be able to get through the interview process with your client? Are they what your client is looking for? So sometimes people get annoyed and they're like, well, why didn't they pick me? Well, you just weren't the right color of Cadillac that they were looking to put in their garage. And that's not always usually demeaning or against the person that's there. A lot of people take it to heart. It just means that there is so much choice out there in the marketplace right now. They know exactly what they're looking for. And there's a large chance that with a decent recruiter, they're going to find that. So please jump on my Calendly, guys. 15 minutes of pleasure.
But the ability to change jobs much more frequently, is an interesting thing, because there is therefore a lot more people looking for jobs, but there's also a lot more jobs out there. It's far more fluid, which is a cool thing.
Yeah, as always, guys, this is live, so feel like free to chuck your questions in. But you know what's interesting about that, John? We talked about this on the weekend about a new project that we're going to be working forward for yourself and I. We won't go too much. We won't go at all into that today. But giving people the opportunity to understand how their change or development can benefit them. I mean, I now work for Lysis Group. I'm an associate director here, a director of the sales for Lysis, and I didn't think in a million years that I'd be working for a multi-million-pound, turnover business and running the sales department with such amazing people in the business. But I didn't just go, right, I'm going to go and do that, and then got my CV there and did it. And to be fair, John took a big risk with me, and that to start with, I'm not sure if he was convinced that the risk was going to pay off. But I've learned and I've changed, and I'll be the first person to tell you that a lot of the stuff that I've done from being here probably wasn't right for commercial business, but I've made those changes and I've developed, and the company's helped me and the team's helped me. But to get to this point, I had to make changes and adjustment. There was a point where I'll never forget where I was. I was in Cornwall. I was doing a paddleboard clinic for 10 people. We went down to Cornwall for 4 days, and we all had camper vans and we Gwydion. And I had a business here in Worthing, and someone was supposed to open a shop for me to bring in there was a bachelorette party. What do they call it? Hen party. And they were coming to go paddleboarding in the morning. It was a beautiful day. They were going to paddleboard from my shop. Then they were going to, then she was going to get married. Well, at 9 o'clock, she rang me and said, "We're here and there's no one here." So I rang the person that was supposed to open it, and he went, "I'll get there when I get there." And at that moment, I was like, this is just not right for me. I remember ringing my wife, Natalie, and saying, "Look, Natalie, I've got to go back. Working in the water sports industry wasn't rewarding enough. It wasn't paying me what I needed. People were letting me down left, right, and centre." So I managed to pivot and make that change. And I hate that word pivot, but it's exactly what I did. Made a change. And then I started on a quest to get where I am now. And I never forget, John, sitting with you, drinking horrendous coffee at WeWork, I can't remember, in Moorgate.
But that's true. Never too late to learn. Never too late, too old to adapt, to change. Never too late, too old to learn new things. And more importantly than all of that, is always be looking forward for the next change, the next adaptation, the next thing you need to do. Right?
Yeah. It is. And I think what's important about that is the people that you have around you as well. Just us talking with us. I mean, I value you as a friend now, and I think it's great to have you on board, because you'll always tell me honestly what you think of the crazy stuff that comes out of my mouth, and I appreciate that. But you've helped me benefit me in my everyday job and the other stuff that we do. I absolutely love being here, and the fact that I can make that change and adjustment is definitely benefit to the people that we have around us. And I think if you're watching this and you don't think that other people can provide a benefit to you, then you're massively mistaken. Find people that fill the gap that you don't necessarily have or haven't perfected, and grab hold of them and don't let them go. And me, annoy the crap out of them the whole time.
But the people that are going to be honest, there's three types of people. We said this on Seedcast a few weeks ago. There's three kinds of people. There's those who will always say yes. Well, they're great, but you don't need them. There's those that will always say, "Oh, you shouldn't do, you can't do." They're terrible, and you don't need them. You need the people that sit in between that, which will be honest, will tell you the truth, will go out and champion and wave the flag for you, but will also tell you that's not going to work, and challenge you. And it's those people, the ones that sit there. They're very few and far between, but they're great to have around you.
I think the key point to this is success is available to everybody. I think the second that you yourself or your business thinks that they are struggling for success because of what somebody else is doing. I was listening on Clubhouse this morning to somebody saying that be careful who you compete against, because that drives you down a very bad road. Well, that's fine to say from somebody looking out of it, but you need competition to be able to drive yourself moving forward. I agree that you shouldn't try to copy other people that are doing different things, but ultimately it's interesting to I call it R&D, rip off and duplicate. Look at what people are doing around you and see how maybe you can adopt what they're doing, benefit, make it for your own, and move forward, because that is just what it is. And like I said, success is not limited to one person. There is enough business in this world for all of us to be successful, all of us to drive around in Lamborghinis or whatever you want,
Yeah, no. Before Facebook, there was something else. Before Google Chrome, there was something else. Before Apple, there was something else. You know, you don't have to.
Before Apple, John. This is the question I have. There was nothing before Apple, and while we're on here, or while we're on this subject, so John, as an avid user, what are those phone calls? Those phones you use. What they call?
Well, the operating system's Android, but lots of companies make them, not just one.
So you were on Android, and John is one of these people that believes he was unplugged from the Matrix and using an Android phone. So apparently, what was it? How does Ranganathan say it? He says there's two guys that own Samsung, Sam and Sung.
Yes, I've crossed over to the dark side and bought some white phone. Yeah.
But John is now on an iPhone, and I tell you look much better for it, John. Life is easier, things are working better. We managed to figure out the worst time ever to run a group on Clubhouse, which was four of us, four fantastic consultants talking about peak performance, 7:00 on a Friday night. Is that a good time, John?
Well, my peak performance 7:00 on a Friday night it usually involves a bottle of wine, but yes, it was an interesting evening.
Yeah. So and let's talk about some stuff that we've got coming up, John. So we have got Tuesdays now, Seedcast, which is John and I, this is a little bit of an insight into what we do and what we talk about. We have got lots of exciting things. So please go to seed-cast.com, have a look over there. You can look at it live from there. You can look at it on all different platforms that we have. It is at 7:00 on a Tuesday. Please join us for that. It is about what's going on in the world, what's happening in the world. We give some advice. We talk about stuff that we have got a little bit of experience in, and some that we don't have any experience in. And it is a bit of entertainment from us too. We do this every Monday morning, John and I. I've got some rooms opening up on, is it Tuesday night on Clubhouse?
Yes. So if you're going to be tested, if you're going to be tested today and you come back positive, are you still going to be doing Daily Bake tomorrow?
Of course I am. Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, if I'm on a ventilator in hospital, then I will be coming at some point in some capacity to you guys. Our public is important to me, and doing this is important to me. It helps me set up my day, and it gives me because this is, let's face it, John, these are not scripted, right? This is just us having a chat. So depending on how we go down the rabbit hole, depends on where we end up. So. I feel like absolute toilet right now, and I feel like I'm going to be ill and sick and all that sort of stuff. But the show's got to go on, right? These are challenging times. I will work until I cannot work any longer. Then I'll just wobble myself down to my bedroom, put my phone next to me. But I will keep you guys appraised of the situation. I'll let you guys know how we go on today as far as the testing facilities. So far, the NHS has provided a great system, from what we can't follow it. I'm pretty sure that neither of us are going to need to go to hospital, which we will, I'm sure 100% that we won't. But again, we're going to try and keep ourselves as away from everybody as possible.
I think you get elevated up the list as well, because even if you've had the virus, they still give you the vaccine, I believe.
Yeah, so I'm not a massive fan of needles, but Christ, it's not like we've been going anywhere anyway, so it's not like anything's going to change for the next 10 days. I just hope that I don't feel too bad. I'm not a massive fan of being ill, but I will soldier on and struggle on, and we will talk about it, because I'm sure there's a lot of people on here wondering what it's going to be like for them to go through. I'm not unfit. I'm not really unhealthy. We eat pretty well, and I do quite a lot of exercise, so I'm interested to see how it is going to affect me, and that information I will happily pass on to you guys. I mean, it's not necessarily business related, but right now I feel indifferent is probably the best way to put it. But who knows? I could go there and I could be tested negative and just be a massive whinger who is complaining about something that I don't have. So moving on from that, we have looking for what list we've got from Listis Group. We will be looking today, or this week, we'll be pushing quite heavily. We got potentially some of our staff coming back from the Listis Recruit side, so that helps me on the sales front. So if you have any KYC projects that you need any people for, I have an abundance. My bench at Listis is huge. It is deep. It is everybody that you can need, from transaction monitoring to KYC, AML, everything that you need from the financial crime and compliance space. We can offer you. We can spin up a team in 24 hours to get a team working for you, helping you with your remediation project. If you've got 166, we've got specialists working in that area. Anybody that you need to work, please let us know. John, what have you got going on this week with Mission 23?
So I got a couple of interesting things. I've got a radio station client, which is jolly exciting. It's a very, very cool project to be involved in. We're just at the point where we're starting to we put some shape around how the business structure will look like. We're now sort of filling in all the gaps and all the who's going to be doing what. So that's very, very exciting. Today is my daughter's birthday, so I've got a whole raft of errands to run. And yeah, just some reports to write. Oh, tomorrow, 10 o'clock, I'm running a live stream webinar for anyone who wants it, just to give some insight into what Mission 23 does. That's at 10 o'clock.
Perfect. So if you share that stuff with me, I'll make sure it gets shared out. Remember, guys, if you're on LinkedIn and you see somebody else that's got a business, please share their stuff out. Get it out to your network. You know, we work hard to do
You all right?
Yeah. Kind of spoke then. It's a really weird feeling in my mouth. Like I feel like I want to be sick, but I really don't like being sick. I'm not sure if anybody does, and this is not a great thing to talk about. But anyway, so anyway, Mike, how's my voice coming through to you today, John?
Good. Yeah.
Good. Is it better? Yeah. How about?
Yeah. No, that's no good. Can't hear you. Well, maybe it is good. We can't hear you.
So we need a radio show, John. So if anyone's watching this and wants us on a radio show, then we're there. We can do business. We can do anything. We can bring it to you on the radio station. We're live at 5, the Power Hour with Ant.
You're the modern day equivalent of Smashy and Nicey.
Yeah, exactly. Smashy and Nicey. Perfect. Well, matron, before I start to lose it, I think it's probably a good time to go. Good time to leave it. John, and always a pleasure on a Monday morning. Have a wonderful week. I look forward to seeing us tomorrow night at 7 o'clock on Seedcast. We will see you. Everybody have a wonderful day. Speak to you soon.